God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. God only knows how it's killing you. But there's a kind of love that God only knows. God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. But God only knows the real you. There's a kind of love that God only knows.
Welcome to Season 2, Episode 55 of Your Journey Is Not Over. My name is Tanya Pearson Randolph. This is my own personal journey, and the expressions and opinions are of my own. I own all the rights to my personal journey, and to Your Journey Is Not Over. Neither are to be used, copied, or edited in any way without my consent. Well, like I said in my last episode, I am being led to board a whole new train. I parked the other trains, and I will return to them at a later date. I go where I'm led, so please join me and all aboard. A very common question that I get asked, the most common, is where am I from? When I give my speeches, I always introduce myself, and I tell everyone that I'm from Indiana, never the city. I always break the ice with there's more than corn in Indiana. There's me and a lot of other amazing people that are from Indiana also. I always avoid the question, or I quickly detour the questions about what city I am from. Of course, with technology being what it is, all you have to do is Google me, right? Before I even begin down these tracks, I want to say when I speak about my town, my city, I want to make it very clear. There's a lot of amazing, wonderful people in my city, from police officers, firemen, paramedics, people that work retail, people that work fast food. Again, a variety of amazing people. Like any city, there's so many layers and different parts that are like day and night from each other. My city is also known as a campus town, so there's another completely different part of the city altogether. Being born here and then brought back here at 5 years old from Kentucky, it's all I've ever known, like most of us, right? And growing up here and throughout my journey, I've had the pleasure of meeting and getting close to people of all walks of life, from the top, chiefs, mayors, lawyers, judges, to the gang members. Most I grew up with their parents, or they know me from the business that I was under the impression I was building and then buying on contract. $20,000 down and $1,500 a month for a year would lead one to believe I was buying it anyway. But that business allowed me to be able to connect with everyone, allowed me to donate to fire departments, sponsored our police department softball team 2 years in a row. I gave back to our community. I even provided jobs. And I connected with local gang members, and some from Chicago. They all call me Mama. How many people can say that these guys not only refer to them as Mama, but delivered me morning coffee every single morning? As people that know me say, only you, Tanya. It's all in how you treat and talk to people. You get what you give. I give love and respect, and I get it in return. Also, I'm going to rewind to the one-bedroom apartment that my mom and my brother and I lived in, where my brother and I were left to feed and take care of ourselves. Or, let me rephrase that, where my brother, at 14 years old, had to take care of us and some way provide us with food. Well, it was then that I got close to the motorcycle gang. Their clubhouse was catty corner from our apartment, and my brother would clean their clubhouse, wash their bikes for money to buy us food. Of course, I tagged along always, too young to be by myself. My brother was so protective, so I went everywhere he went. Even his dishwashing job, I sat in the kitchen on a chair of that restaurant. We never even seen the restaurant area because we came and went out their back door. But at the clubhouse, I can remember they always gave us food, would have cookouts and invite us and send us home with lots of food. My first soda, other than RC and Big Red, was a Coca-Cola from them. The ladies would always brush my hair and braid it. Their clubhouse was a safe place to me. They looked out for us and must have known our living conditions. Also, that's where the love of motorcycles, Harley-Davidson motorcycles, came from for my brother. I'm the only other soul that knows where that love came from at a young age. My brother worked and bought his first motorcycle at 16 years old. My brother was just like me, We never forgot who helped us in any way, always grateful. They were again so good to us. So when we moved, I never thought I would see them again. They were angels sent from God. They come in all forms. That's why I always say, never judge a book by the cover. You must read the chapters. And then, as I always say, you're nobody's judge and jury. That's God's job. He don't need no help from us. God's been doing that job a long time. He's got it under control. So yes, I know you're wondering, how does all of this tie into where I'm from? Hold tight. It will all come together. But first, some backdrop on me. Who's been in my life in whatever way? How, by the grace of God, I've met so many people of all walks of life who become like family and have helped to protect me when I found myself in situations where I needed protection. Most recently, I had to seek protection from the ones that call me mama. I got to reconnect with them, hang out with them. God moves in mysterious ways, and it was so nice to reconnect. So, my city's nickname is Little Chicago. And being from the inner city, it's well known not to involve the law, the police department, unless absolutely necessary. And chances are you can get whatever squashed, taken care of in a calm way by reaching out to people of power, not political power, neither. Reach out and touch a friend kind of power. It's all in who you know. And I'm grateful that throughout my journey, I've gotten to know and become close to people of power. Well, I connected with that motorcycle gang. Again, years later, we reconnected. My second cousin, who I always referred to as my older brother, he and my brother looked almost identical. And he lived in Kentucky when we did. We're from a close Southern family. Well, he was in a real bad bicycle accident, almost died, had severe brain damage. So was in the hospital and then going to rehab. I was the only one in the family that could go to rehab with him every day. I had a half day at school at this time, and I scheduled work after rehab hours just to be there and to help him daily. Well, let me tell you how God works once again. One of the motorcycle gang members had been playing a game of Russian roulette, a dangerous game, and the gun went off and he was shot in the head. He was put in the same room with my cousin. I got to see everyone again. Sad circumstances, of course, but I had never forgot them and never stopped being grateful for the love, the kindness, and the food that they gave us. I was all grown up at this time in high school, not the meek and most definitely not the mute little girl I once was. Again, it was so nice to see them again. Like I've said many times, not always the best or the nicest of ways, but God moves us where He wants us to be. They had a hard time getting someone there to go to his rehab with him, so I went to rehab with him every day. It was the least I could do after everything they had did for my brother and I. I never forget kindness, and I never stop being grateful. During this time, I got close to all of them. They knew me, knew who I was, where I was from. No false perceptions at all. And so the leaders became like dads to me. Could call on them if ever I needed anything at all. Motorcycle gangs, or just people that like to ride motorcycles in general, have always gotten a bad rap. But they are the first ones to show up and show support to any fundraiser, any charity, especially for kids. They get judged harshly, but my own personal experience is under the leather, the tattoos, the beards, are people that have the biggest hearts. Again, before I begin to talk about Little Chicago, I want to again state that we have amazing people from the top to the bottom, but our politics and our judicial system is somehow stuck in the 1950s. And it's all based on a good old boy system. My personal opinion being it's all in who you know, your last name, who you're related to, who you sleep with, and of course, who you narc on. All of those can assure that you can do anything, commit any crimes and get by with it. If any charges come at all, then it's a slap on the wrist. Nothing taught nor learned. Pretty much to some, it's a license to drive. Do what you want. Those special people must know there will be no repercussions to their actions, no consequences before they even commit the crime. The world would be total chaos, worse than what it is now, if everyone was to go out and commit crimes and know before they commit that crime that they're good, whoever's got them covered, so nothing will come of it. Again, Who you know, who you're related to, who you sleep with, who you narc on. Good old boy system that should have been retired a long time ago. It's not 1950s, it's 2025. And justice should not depend on who you know, who you're related to, who you sleep with, or who you narc on. At least that's what my tax dollars say anyway. Is it like this everywhere? Every time I've been the victim or needed the police involved, the justice system, in the last 30 years, only a handful of times, mind you. Have I ever gotten justice in any case? Some huge life changing cases, too. One made USA Today's front page, but no justice locally. Stay tuned as I run down some of these cases, including the most recent one. I asked hard questions. I bring things to the forefront. Somebody has to. We can't make changes by staying silent. Now, can we? This concludes my podcast for today. Please join me Thursday. Listen in. And always remember, your journey is not over. God bless.
God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. God only knows how it's killing you. But there's a kind of love that God only knows. God only knows what you've been